Hi YouTube, it's Brandy. I've got some cups to work on. So I've got a few things I need to finish that are a couple of cups that are on their final step and they just need to have a final coat put on. And then I've got one that is brand new order that I'm gonna do, and it is a wood grain. And then I may try to do the smoke effect one. I'm not positive yet on that. Let's see. I think this is my lighter wood grain color. I personally like the darker wood grain, but this customer requested to have a lighter wood grain, so that's what we're gonna do. Everybody knows wood grains, you can get them done just like that. They're super quick. And I still do mine different from the way other people do. That is fine. A lot of people take their alcohol ink and put it right on the cup and then brush it. I don't do that. I pour a little bit into a medicine cup and I dip my brush in the medicine cup. And yes, this is a $15 makeup brush. I did not know that it cost $15 when I used it for this. But yeah, I just put mine straight on, just like this. Wood grains are actually super easy, super quick to get them done. Kind of not my favorite because they are done so quick. Because I would prefer to enjoy working on it a little bit longer. Let's see, make a nice knot there. Oh yeah. I need a little bit more ink here. Not much, just a little bit. Yeah, here's this spot that I'm wanting to fix. Oh, I need it to be more grainy, more liney. It's too smooth for my liking. I still want it just a little bit more grainy. I like to really see the brush strokes because wood is very grainy. Now I'm messing up this part. That'll be a nice knot. There's another good knot. I just want this one little spot to get some more brush strokes. There we go. Cover up that white spot. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna call that good on that wood grain. We'll let that dry. That one is done. Next I've got to mix some epoxy to put on some cups. I have quite a few cups that need epoxy, so see, that one is on final coat, that one is on final coat. That one is probably gonna get 2 more coats. I think these have probably been coated enough in Mod Podge that I can coat them. So let me go put them on the turner. Okay, so I'm gonna have to mix up quite a bit of epoxy here. Because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cups to put epoxy on. So, yeah. And just get my brain caught up with my hands. So here we've got our resin, and we'll do 30 cc's of resin. And I'm actually probably gonna do 60 total cc's of resin. Let's hope that 60 in each of these will, not overflow this cup. I might just get 2 separate cups. To be honest. And you just want to make sure you have perfectly equal parts of resin and hardener. So 1 part resin, 1 part hardener. So you can't, like, you gotta really make sure your measurements are precise. And I think I'm definitely gonna need 2 separate cups because it's gonna overflow if I try to put 2, or like 4 total. And yes, you are supposed to wear a respirator with this. I have one, but I really only have that for in case, because I was doing IVF last year, and at one point I was pregnant, and so I wasn't doing anything with my cups while I was pregnant until I got my respirator in. And by the time the respirator came, I had miscarried, so I still have a respirator for whenever I get pregnant again, if I end up pregnant again. Okay, so now we've gotten the resin part and we are moving on to the hardener. So now we'll do 30 cc's of hardener in each cup. And now the hardener comes out much faster than the resin does because the resin is thicker. Okay, that one's got hardener. We'll put some hardener in the other one, and then we mix them, and then we just pour them, cover the cups in it. Okay, I think that's empty. Now we have got to mix, which is, if you know me and you have watched my channel, you know is my least favorite part because it makes my hands cramp. watch the timer and make sure that I mix each part for at least 3 minutes. Or each cup for at least 3 minutes. Because I do not want to go into another fiasco of having a cup that is not pure. So if you do not mix, or if you don't measure equally, or you don't mix properly, then you go to put it on your cup and it will not cure. It will like partially cure, and if it partially cures, then it will just be like sticky, which I have parts on my table of uncured epoxy where it's just sticky. And you don't want that. Believe me, because I had a cup that was on its last coat and I ended up having to strip it and restart because it did not cure completely. My contacts are bugging me. Okay, I need to stir for like 1 more minute on this cup. I don't even care about getting air bubbles, really. They will work themselves out. I might hit my cups with a heat gun though. Just to be on the safe side. Another 30 seconds of mixing. Make sure that you scrape your sides so that everything is getting mixed. Okay. I'm gonna try to get off all I can from my mixer. And we will go on to mixing this one for 3 minutes. And one of the ways that you'll know that you've mixed it right is it will produce heat as a result of the chemical reaction between the two components. Between the resin and the hardener, it creates a chemical reaction, and that's what causes the two to work together, and it produces heat. So after a few minutes of that cup sitting there, it'll be warm, and I will know that I have mixed it correctly. I'm really not good at doing like anything with my left hand. But my right hand is tired of mixing. I do need to scrape the sides real good though. Another 50 seconds. I hate mixing epoxy. I need to invest in an epoxy mixer. It just does it for me. I think it cramps my hand because this is such a tiny thing to grasp, my mixer, my little stainless steel mixing thing. But I use the stainless steel thing to mix because of the stirrer, because using the popsicle sticks for some reason with them made of wood, it causes more air bubbles to get into your epoxy. So this just will lessen the amount of air bubbles that we have to deal with. Okay. Just turn my camera a little bit. Move some of this unnecessary stuff out of the way. All that is not needed. This is paint. I don't need that paint right now. All of that can go. Let's see if this one, did I already clean this one out? Okay. I want to do a little bit more scraping on this guy. I'm just scraping the rim here, and I'm gonna go back and put a coat of epoxy on the rim, but you don't want a super thick coat of epoxy on the rim. You do need epoxy on the rim. That way water doesn't seep in, but you don't want a real thick coat of epoxy on the end. Okay, so this doesn't need a lot, and we're just gonna dip our hand in there and get some and just scoop it up the cup. Ooh, that was a lot. That's probably all it's gonna need. Ooh, a piece of something I don't want got in there. I think this is probably the last cup this will need. There's a chance it could end up needing one more, or the last coat. It depends on how well it covers that vinyl. Once it cures, I'll rub my hand over this vinyl right here, and if it feels good and smooth, then it'll be good. As long as it feels smooth and I don't feel any bumps, then I will be satisfied with it. It's a little bit too close to this. There we go. I don't want it to be so close to that. Okay. Try to get the excess off of This cup has been a long time coming. I started it at Christmas time, but it took me a while to kind of figure out. I didn't want to buy an SVG file for the face off Etsy because I wanted to save money and, you know, give myself more room for profit. So it took me a little bit to figure out exactly how to recreate the face, but I got it. This one, I think I can just tell the vinyl is still gonna feel bumpy, I think, even after this coat. So it's probably gonna get one more coat. I can see some like imperfections here too. Like some space spots where the stainless steel is showing through. And obviously we don't want that. Don't forget to get the bottom of your cup. Okay, that's all for that one. And then my next one over here is on my loud, obnoxious, annoying turner that I hate. This was like my first turner ever. And it's really loud. I do not want epoxy on my bracelet. I'm gonna use the rest of this epoxy in this cup on this one. Maybe even a little bit from that other cup. Okay, now. See, that is why this is my least favorite turner. But it was my first one. Okay. So that's all for that one. And I've got 4 more cups to put epoxy on, so I'm gonna do that. There's no reason. You saw me put epoxy on these 3, so you know what the process looks like. But I'm gonna do that, and that is all for now.